What is up, guys? It is Rosephantomparade back for another JJKPhantomparade video. So, got some new information as well that we're going to talk about today. But, of course, the main thing we're going to talk about is all the new Gojo and any recollections that are going to be coming out. Sorry about that, guys. I just wanted to cop in game real quick just to see, we'd have a couple of announcements and some other news as well we have to talk about. So yeah, Gojo is coming, as you can see in game. We have the notice here. It says he's coming with a new recollection bit. We'll take a look at both of these. We also have a free login one as well that we'll take a look at, and also one from an event that we're getting at the same time. The next thing here we have is there's going to be a SSR character guaranteed gacha, which if I'm correct should only be paid, I'd imagine. I feel like they would mention it somewhere here. These are the characters that you can get. So they do have Incomplete Megami, Yuji, Hall Purple Gojo, I'm assuming Momo's in here. Ultimate Mechamaru sword option? Wait. Guaranteed SSR gacha, right, guys? So it's coming later tonight, right? Is this Mechamaru the one that isn't out yet in the game? And there's this Panda here. Hold on, guys. Let me take a quick look at this. Alright, guys. So I did look real quick. Yeah. So this is very interesting. So off this free, or actually I don't know if it's free. It should say somewhere free. Basically, but from this SSR character guaranteed gacha, they did add Panda, SSR Red Panda, and Mechamaru, characters that do not have their banners yet in the game yet. So kind of which is very weird and interesting, that they brought characters out early into this banner from the ones that we still don't have yet. So yeah, so then this Red Panda is here. The first SSR Mechamaru is now here as well, which is interesting. I just don't know if it's paid gachas, the thing. Oh yeah, paid cubes, yeah. So it's a little crappy, right? But luckily those characters aren't really that good. Red Panda is, kind of not too bad, but you don't really need them. So yeah, so this is a paid banner gacha, and we do have new SSRs in this paid, gacha banner. So if you guys are, do like to spend a little bit of money on this game, you can maybe try to pick up those units from this banner though, because they are included here. Or Purple Gojo, these were better, right? That's something interesting, right? Maybe those guys will even be on the Gojo banner. Did they mention the characters that are going to be on this banner here? Or no, they don't. Oh yeah, we should probably check. There's no pity, right? Because there should be yeah, gacha points in this gacha cannot be carried over to other gachas. Yeah, so there's no pity transfers, as it says right here. There's no pity transfer basically, which is a big shame. Let's see what else we have here. And then we have this hidden inventory and premature SSR recollection bit guarantee. So this is the same thing as the other one with paid. And most likely this has Panda's SSR recollection bit and then Mechamaru's recollection bit most likely as well. Including all the other ones that we had in the past, right? And yeah, this is also paid. So two paid banners, one for recollection bits and one for SSR characters. Which the SSR one does have the new Panda, Red Panda, because we don't have them yet, but now we do on this paid banner. We don't know yet, but we'll find out later tonight if they are also included on this banner. This purple, Team Gojo banner. We'll find out later tonight if they're also in there. They have also some packs. If you guys are interested in buying these packs, these are the prices if you guys want to take a quick little peek. They're all USD. You're interested in that, but yeah. Hope that helps you guys out. I don't really spend money on this game or any other gacha game, so. But if that helps you guys out, there you go. And yeah, the event's coming later tonight. We are getting 110 tickets. I feel like we made this a little bit bigger. And yeah, 3,000 cubes immediately when we log in, which is very cool. As well as the login recollection bit, which we'll take a look at to see what it does. It does look really nice though, art-wise, right? And yeah, we get so let's see. So day 1 to day 6 we get the recollection bit, and then on day 7 we get 10 standard banner tickets. And then later tonight we get free 3,000 cubes, which is very cool. And then as well with every new banner gacha we get 15 for Gojo, 15 for Geto, and then 10 for Toji. And then 70 at some point as well from there. Alright, and then this is saying what phase 2, phase 3, phase 1 are all going to be well, not happy, but they're just saying what's coming first, right? Let's see, anything else here? We're getting some extra items here as well. So, for daily login bonuses, we're getting some AP pods, we're getting a couple cubes, so that's cool. 300 cubes, but yeah. Well, wow, day 3 we get 100, and then day 14 we get 200. Wow, very generous, guys. A little funny. And then, we get 2, and then it kind of goes, one day we get 2 center banner tickets, then we get 2 AP pods, and then it kind of goes back and forth between those two. for 14 days. And then, oh, that's cool. So if you guys are able, so once, later tonight, once maintenance is over, if you're able to clear chapter 2 to 11, that's how you get an additional 5 for each clear. That gets you about 10, 20, 30 tickets from doing chapter 2 to chapter 11. That's kind of cool, I guess. Let's see, anything else? Total consumption of 200 JJK inventory premature death gotcha phase 1 ticket. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So I think it's saying that if you spend a total of 3,000, yeah, so it looks like if you spend a total of 3,000 stamina, you get an additional 2 tickets. You get an additional 2 tickets for the Gojo banner. That's interesting. I thought it would be from the event, but no, we're getting 2 from... That might actually mean we get an additional multi, maybe, guys. If they're giving us 2 here, that means they only... Oh, because we're getting 15, supposedly, right? So then if we can maybe find more from the event, maybe it's 20 tickets. So, maybe because it's just saying we get 2 from here just from spending 3,000 total stamina. So that's interesting. Okay. And then we get an additional, which would make it 3 tickets when you do dispatch 36 times. Okay, that's a little annoying. 36 times for dispatch, so that's going to take a little while. You're going to have to be on that for like a couple weeks. Or, I think by the end of the first or second week, we should probably get this one. But yeah, that kind of sucks. 36 times is a lot just for that extra ticket there for dispatch. That's 3, right? We get a 4th one for clearing a total of 100 times of the event, I think. Clear a total of 10 times. It doesn't say, enhancement quest. So basically clear an enhancement quest 100 times, then you get 4. That's how you get a 4th ticket. The last ticket, the 5th one, you get that from clearing a total of 200 times for cursed object collection. And that's how you get your 5th ticket here. So that means we're getting 10 for free in the login, right? When the banner comes down, the maintenance is over. And then we get 5 from doing these missions, which the one's going to take the longest is sadly the dispatch one, because the dispatch one they put at the very end at 36, which is really annoying, but oh well. And then there's a chance, because I think there's supposed to be an event that comes out with this, I think, because I think, we'll take a look on the JJK Weekly in a little bit here, but I think I saw there's supposed to be an event that we're supposed to get as well, which should probably get us about another 5 tickets, I think. So that made me, I think we're getting 20 free pulls for this Gojo banner. The only problem is that to do your last multi, if you want to do multi, right, your 10 rolls, you're gonna have to force yourself to wait the 36 days, or not 36 days, but 36 times for the dispatch. So I think you get about 2 dispatches per day. So then if you do like by a week, that'd be 14. And then the second week would be like another yeah, you'd have to wait like 3 weeks to get your last damn ticket for dispatch. If you do 2, if you're really on it, you do 2 per day. I think that's about 3 weeks. Me, I only end up just doing it once, so it's gonna probably take me longer, double the time. So that one's really annoying. So for me, I'm probably just gonna be doing my free multi and then the singles, but that really sucks. This should have been like a total of 4 times and just do one of the JP ones at the very end. I know they did it with all these other ones, but these other ones are pretty quick to complete. This one's really annoying though, that they made it this far and it's gonna take such a long time to get it. But oh well. Anyways, I think with that, let's hop onto the wiki and see what's popping up over there, right guys? Yeah, I did pull it up. Yeah, we're getting the new pens. You know what? I think I'll probably put them in this video too. But I'll talk about them last. So if you guys are interested in seeing what those guys do, we'll talk about them at the very end here. But yeah, I did want to mention this as well. We're also getting more cubes and other resources from this imaginary realm with Gojo. So they're kind of shoving in a whole bunch of things all at once, which is, I guess, kind of cool to speed things up a little bit. So we're getting Gojo here, I'm kind of mixed about these. I kind of just don't really care too much about these. I just do as far as I can go, and then that's it. I don't really do any of this mission to get special stuff, even though I probably should. But yeah, basically you get like I don't remember how many cubes this is, but you get an additional decent amount of cubes from this, and some other really goodies, other good stuff in here as well. So keep a lookout for that. That should be coming out, I'm pretty sure, later tonight as well. Yeah, with the new update. So there's a lot of content for us to do, right? There's a whole lot of content for them. And then look at the tier list here. Just want to talk about. So yeah, here's the Gojo that we're getting. As for should you summon, because I know it took a little while to get to should you summon, but yeah, should you guys summon? Personally, I would say if you have close to 75 pity, Maybe do a couple if you really want to try and get him, like maybe 3 multis. Otherwise, probably be a good idea to skip him unless you really want him. Then, you know, pull for him. Because, you know, in this game, like I said multiple times before, if you're going to pull for this Gojo, you can't run Domain Expansion Gojo on the same team, and Domain Expansion Gojo is just way better. And then, at the same time, this Gojo will be added to Standard Banner in the future, so he will be free to grab in the future. Also, one other huge thing as well I should probably mention, that I didn't mention yet before we continue. I'll just do this. So there's going to be a free... Actually, I could just show you guys. If I still have it here. Let's see. If we go to exchange, right? So you know how there's a SSR ticket we can buy, right? From Domain Investigation, right? Looks like I already bought it. The first one we have. But yeah, right? Is it right here? I could have sworn it was this one. Unless I'm mixed up. I don't know. It should be one of the... I'm pretty sure it's Domain Investigation. But regardless, there should be a free SSR ticket that should be added to here. I think I might have already bought it here. But anyways, do not buy it. Now the reason why I say do not buy this SSR ticket that will be added here, at least I'm pretty sure it's the shop. Regardless, if there's ever, you know, SSR ticket we can buy, right? Which I'm pretty sure should only be from the Domain Investigation. I don't see anything else that would make sense for it. Don't buy it because in the future we're going to be having what is it, Purple Holo Gojo added to it, incomplete Domain Expansion Megumi. We're going to have multiple characters added to that ticket. So if you were to buy it now and or use it now, you're not going to have any of those chance to get those new characters, especially like, you know, Blue, Tidori, or anyone else, right? So you know, just hold off on that ticket. Don't buy it. Wait probably till our half anniversary, and then we'll probably get some like way better characters added into that ticket, so you have a chance of actually getting a really good character, right? So just make sure, just want to make sure you guys know, don't buy the SSR ticket that's going to be showing up in the shop. You know, wait, you got plenty of time. Wait till like half anniversary. Around that time they'll probably mention it, or I'll make a video most likely, let you guys know that hey, now you guys can buy it because, you know, now we have some good characters that are actually, you know, worth pulling for. Because right now currently there isn't really anybody that's worth pulling from the SSR to Gacha ticket, so just hold off on that. Alright, now going back to what we were going originally with, right? So yeah, here's a purple Gojo, right? The Team Gojo. Don't really summon for him unless you really want him, you really want to have him, go for it. Make sure you have enough pity though, because otherwise you're not going to be able to pull him, you know, make sure you have 75 pity. Also, to keep him out, any pulls you do here will be wasted because you won't get any refund back from the pity, because there's no pity here yet, sadly, which is really lame. And then other than that, you know, I think that's about it, really, you know. Just pull for him if you really want him. Just make sure you have enough pity to buy him immediately with 75 cubes. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting stuff and you're not going to get him. Now, going on to the other characters that we're getting, that were added to the SSR Gacha ticket, just to see if they're good or not, right? So we have Panda. Panda is an S tier tank. He's not too bad. You don't really need him, though. You don't really need tanks in this game. So, don't really need to worry about him. If you get him, cool. You can use him in the future. He does get buffs, which make him a bit better. But you don't really need him, right? You don't really need him. And then, what is it? The Mechamaru, same thing. He's but in this case, he's a DPS. Not that great. I think he might have gotten buffs. We'll take a look at that a little bit later at the end of the video. So, you know, if you get him, he's okay. And hey, at least you have another yellow DPS, right? So you don't even need to pull for this Gojo if you don't want it. If you just want a yellow DPS. Though Nabaru is better, right? Nabaru is better. All right. And with that being said, let's also take a look at the recollections, right? So we have 3 new recollections, okay? So we have the Gacha one, which I don't know how to pull up, but basically it's this one right here. This is so the basic, or you know, the new one from the Gacha with the new Team Gojo. It is it's a mixed recollection bit. It's also SS tier, so very good. We'll also take a look at what it does. So just want to let you guys know that it is SS tier. So if you guys get the new recollection bit from the Team Gojo banner, it is very good for mixed. So if you guys have Yuta, we put on Yuta, he's gonna do amazing damage. Then we also have the other one here, which I'm pretty sure this one with like Team Gojo right here. If I'm pretty sure this is the one that's going to be happening in the this was going to be the event part 1 Gacha, or not Gacha, the event recollection, the one that's given for free, right, for many events. It's an A tier Jujutsu one. It's not too bad. We'll take a look at it. I did see it before in the past, but from what I remember, it's not too bad. It's also an A tier, so like I said, if you guys both me whatever you can get, right? So if you have, you know, for Gojo, anyone, you put on him. It's a decent option, not too bad. And then the last one, that's the login bonus. I'm correct, it's a support one, and it is also an offensive one that is an A tier, so about the same level, you know, so not too bad, right? Now, before we take a look at the recollection bits, let's see what Gojo does, right? Let's see what Gojo actually does. What makes him so valuable? What makes him a really top tier, was it a double S, yellow DPS? But only, besides Yuji, right? Yuji comes out a little later, right? Alright, so let's see. So, he's more so Jujutsu, but he does a little bit of Taijutsu, okay. His characteristic, when he performs a crit hit, increases his own damage, which is pretty good. Most DPS nowadays have this, from what I've seen. As we've done these videos before, they mostly have an increase their own damage, or they increase their own typing or their own Jujutsu, whatever, whenever they land a crit. So that's cool. Now with skill 1, Convergent Strike at level 1 deals melee combined damage equal to 125, and Taijutsu. So 125 Taijutsu and then 95 Jujutsu to select the enemy. And attracts the selected enemy's attack to self 1 turn, chance 35%. Now level 10, the damage goes from, went from 125 Taijutsu to now 200 Taijutsu, and now it's 158 Jujutsu, whereas before it was 95. So big numbers there. The chance doesn't increase though. Also not too bad. So he's like Yuta as well. He's mixed. Though interestingly, the first skill has way more for Taijutsu rather than Jujutsu, which is a little interesting in my opinion. Now skill 2, Limitless Curse Technique at level 1 grants attack immunity to self for 3 turns, which is pretty good. Increases own damage received by 30% for 3 turns, and increases own Jujutsu damage special by 5% for 5 turns. Now while increases own Jujutsu damage special is active, changes the skill into Curse Technique Disclosure, increases own damage by 53.9% for 4 turns, and increases own crit hit rate by 30% for 4 turns. Mind you, you could stack this up to about an additional 2 times, I'm pretty sure, before the previous buffs goes away, at least for the attack immunity and own damage received. But you could probably stack up the own damage increase for 4 turns multiple times. You could stack that up 3 times, and then scribbling the crit rate. So you could give him easily up to 90 crit rate, easily, right? Easily 90 crit rate. Mind you, this is only level 1. Now we take a look at level 10. The only thing that gets changed is that now he increases his own damage by 80% at level 10, so a massive buff. And that's the only thing that changes. Everything else is the same. So he can get easily so he can get easily over like 240, damage increase basically to himself, which is a huge buff, right? Not to mention having the 90% crit rate, and then if anyone else gives him a crit rate buff, or he increases the crit rate, which up and does increase the rate. But basically he's going to be doing a lot of damage, right? He's going to be doing a lot of damage just off of skill 2, if you keep stacking this up. Also, it only costs one curse energy, so he can stack this up really quickly, very easily, so very huge. Now skill 3, Limitless Convergence, which also costs 1 curse energy, deals 260 range Jujutsu damage to the selected enemy, and increases the selected enemy's damage by 30% for 2 turns. So basically, the enemy won't be able to decrease the enemy's damage. So basically, they won't be able to do as much damage to you, basically. So like, that's a little debuff to keep up to everybody. Now level 10, the damage goes up from 260 range Jujutsu damage to now 433 range Jujutsu damage to the selected enemy. Also, judging by these are both single target skills for skill 1 and skill 3, or single target damage skills, so he's more of a single target character, at least based on those 2 skills, right? He's going to be doing a lot of damage, right? There's a lot of damage. Now, his ultimate, Curse Technique Lapse, maximum curse energy output blue, at level 1 deals 1000 range Jujutsu damage to all enemies 5 hits. So, immediately off the bat, massive damage. That is also AoE, right? Which is interesting, right? His skill 1 does more on Taijutsu and a little less on Jujutsu. However, his skill 3 and ultimate do more Jujutsu, so if you wanted to, you could probably run a little more Jujutsu focused recollection bit to make him do more damage. That's more of what he's doing. His skill 1 is the only one that wants more Taijutsu. Otherwise, he wants more Jujutsu for his actual main damaging skills. Now level 10, that goes up to 1500 range Jujutsu damage to all enemies. And his combo of ultimate, basically all it does is increase his own and the allies' critical hit damage by 50% for 4 turns, which is pretty nice, right? And he does range Jujutsu damage to all enemies. Now his auto skill, Limitless Curse Technique, at the start of battle grants attack immunity to self for 2 turns, increases own damage received by 30%, and increases own Jujutsu damage special by 5%. So basically, he applies the limitless. He applies skill 2 at the start of the wave, basically. So then, if that's already applied, you could do skill 2 immediately, and you can get the own damage increase, the own crit rate, right? You can start stacking those buffs up really quickly because he applies that skill immediately. Yeah, really, really huge stuff. So like, yeah, as we can see why he's really good. He does a lot of damaging buffs. He has attack immunity. He can even with skill 1 he can target his chance to target the enemy, so he can make everybody attack him. But he's immune, so he's not going to take any damage unless they have a domain expansion. And besides that, he also reduces his own damage anyways. And then he can even, give himself damage buffs as well with crit rate buffs, which is really nasty. Yeah, really good. Also, this Gojo, one thing that's also really big about this Gojo that is important as to why some people also really want him, right? That we didn't talk about yet. He won't leave. He doesn't have one major debuff that every other Gojo has where they will leave, right? Blue Gojo will leave after 7 turns. Purple Holo Gojo will leave after he uses his ultimate. What is it? Domain Expansion Gojo, that's the red one, will leave after he, I think it's after 8 turns is when he leaves. And then this Gojo, he just doesn't leave. He stays around the whole time. So yeah, very good stuff, guys. Very good stuff here. Yeah, as we can see why he's, very good, right? At the same time, we don't have to pull him now. We have a chance to pull him later in the future when he gets extra stamina banner. But, like many of you and like me, I will try my best to try and pull him by doing a couple pulls here and there, because I am at like a pretty good amount to where I don't have to worry too much. So I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my luck to see if I can maybe get him early and see what that things go with that. Now, going on to recollection bits, right? Here's the gotcha one. For now, a cola. Now, the name might be a little bit different on global, because sometimes some names for some things are a little bit different on global with how they call some stuff. So what this one does, right? It's a 50-50 of Jujutsu, both at 29%. Now, skill 1, when ultimate skill is activated, increases own damage dealt by 85% for 1 turn, 1 time, specifically for yellow types. So, a really amazing recollection here. Problem is, it's only for yellow type, so this is only going to be good on this Gojo. I mean, we do have some other ones like Nobara, right? You could run it on Nobara, she would be benefit from it, or the Nanami would also benefit from it, I think. But like, other than that, we don't really have anyone else that would really benefit from it, so it's specifically only going to be useful for Gojo, mainly because of this yellow effectiveness. If this was not here, oh boy, this would be one of the... it literally is still one of the best recollection bits if you look at the tier list, right? It is like SSS tier. If I can find what tab it is. Yeah, here we go. It's literally SSS tier for max damage, so it's still really cracked, right? It's not going to really be good for anyone other than this Gojo. And then with one dupe, going back to it, at the start of the turn, if own ultimate skill gauge is full, increases own break damage by 20% per 1 turn. So, that's okay, right? That's not too bad. So basically, when Gojo's ready to use his ultimate, he's going to have an extra buff of the break damage, and then, you have when you activate the actual skill, or in this case, when you do the ultimate, you'll get that fat 85% damage, and then if you have it at 3 dupes, it goes up to 90, so almost 100% damage of increases own damage dealt for 1 turn, 1 time. So the ultimate's gonna hit extra hard. Not to mention, it's also a 6-turn cooldown, which is pretty small in my opinion. It's not that bad. That's pretty quick. So, pretty huge stuff here. Yeah, it's a really good recollection bit. Because they're able to pull the Gojo and this recollection bit, he's gonna be doing nasty damage. Now, if we go onto the other one, here's the one from the login bonus, the one we're gonna get after login every single day. So, it is also 50-50. The damage numbers are a bit lower though. It's 26% now for both. Now, skill 1, when you use a skill or an ultimate, increases all allies' damage dealt by 5%, which is kind of not a lot for 1 turn. Now, with one dupe, at the start of the battle, increases all allies' ultimate skill gauge charge rate by 10% for 1 turn. So, also not that crazy. And then with 3 dupes, the damage dealt for all allies goes up to 10% for 1 turn. So, it's not really that good. It's like a minor buff for the whole team, so if you were to use it as a support, it wouldn't be that bad. Plus, it does say it increases all allies' ultimate skill charge rate by 10%. So honestly, it's not half bad. It's also kind of decent. So you can run this on support, because you can activate this with any skill, right? And then you can give everybody a damage buff. So say maybe you wanted to like use your what's his name again? I forget his name. I have to go look again. Tier list. If you wanted to use this dude, Yaga, yeah. So if you want to use Yaga, right? Use Yaga buff, boom, this activates. Maybe your Gojo is ready to like kill or whatever, right? With his ultimate, you pop his stuff, and then you have the extra damage dealt, and then you're ready to cook, right? You're ready to cook. So also not too bad, very decent for supports. Nothing too major, right? Now here's the one that we should be getting from the event. You crying, which might be you crying, but might be changing in the global version, right? But this is the one we're getting for free from the event, because there should be an event coming out later tonight with this, I'm assuming, unless they're going to be pushing it back a little bit. Anyways, it does, it's not 50-50 this time. Now it's 21% for Taijutsu and 31% for Jujutsu, so it does technically have better stats for the most part compared to the login one. Now skill 1 increases all Jujutsu damage by 60% for one turn, which also is pretty good. That's a pretty good amount. And then one dupe. When combo ultimate is activated, it increases own Jujutsu damage by 20% for 3 turns, up to 1 time per turn. So I think what it's saying is basically when you do the combo ult, you get the 20% for 3 turns, but then you only have the extra buff if you so basically I'm assuming when you immediately use it, you have the Jujutsu damage for that 1 turn, then second turn, whatever the first thing you do is, that's the one that has the Jujutsu buff, and then the second thing you do doesn't have that, I'm assuming, but I don't think it really matters, right, because it literally is one. You attack 1 time per turn, right? So I don't know if it really matters. Unless it's maybe like Gojo, because you know how Gojo says it hits 5 times, so maybe the first hit is when it you have that buff, but then the last 4 hits doesn't count. I'm not too sure exactly, but it does last for 3 turns. Now, if you have it at 3 dupes, that increases to now 65% Jujutsu damage for 1 turn. Also, the cooldown is shorter, it is 5 turns, so honestly, not a bad one. A pretty good option, and it's free. So if you guys don't want to try to pull for the the Gojo recollection bit, hey, there you go. You can just use this nice little freebie one from the event, which is really cool, right? Yeah, so I was looking here at the timeline just to make sure, yeah. So this is we're 3 new recollection bits, 1 gacha, 1 login, 1 from an event. That should all be happening tonight, as well as new story. And we're also doing the Jogo battle, whatever thing. And then later, next couple of weeks, we got another event one, we'll get another gacha one, and then last one we'll wrap up with Toji. But yeah. Alright, with that being said, let's hop on over to, we'll quickly talk about Panda and Mechamaru, right? So let's just quickly speak through this, right, guys? So, let's see. So, for Mechamaru here, this is what we have, right? So, he's yellow, right? He's not that good. He's a DPS. So, characteristic grants puppet body to self. When break is performed, it increases own damage. Alright, so basically, grants puppet body to self for, I'm assuming it's some sort of buff or whatever, right? And then when break is performed, it increases own damage. And then with his buff, the break effect got moved to the auto skill. Okay. Now with skill 1, boost on, deals 100% melee jutsu, or taijutsu damage just like enemy, and then it goes to 150 with his buff. Now it goes to 240 at level 10, and then skill 2, ultra shield, 15 curse energy cost. Let's see. At level 1, grants counter status to self for 2 turns and increases own break damage to 40% for 2 turns, and then counter status when someone targets him. That's a single target. Has to be melee specifically. He deals 100% of 140 melee taijutsu damage as a counter, and then at level 10 that goes to 150 of 140% melee taijutsu damage. And then with the buff, the numbers go up basically. So it just increases his own break damage by an extra 10, so now it's 50% break damage for 3 turns. Okay. I mean, that's okay, I guess. Not too bad. He's a bit of a counter, so it kind of works like a ping kind of, but also not really. This is more of a DPS, right? Now, his third skill, Ultra Spin, costs 20 energy, increases his own break damage by 120%, and deals melee combined damage equal 120 taijutsu and 85 jujutsu to a selected enemy. And then at level 10, we now go to 180 taijutsu and 127 jujutsu, so very decent. It's okay. He's looking more to be definitely a bit of a, like a counter, but more specifically, he's more of a break character, so trying to break enemy's bar. Now, with the buff, he got a pretty big buff actually, so he increases his own break damage by 250% for 1 time, and now his damage goes to 220 taijutsu and now 180 jujutsu, so pretty significant damage buffs right there. Now his ultimate, Ultra Spin and Ultra Cannon, level 1, increases his own break damage by 70% for 1 time, and deals melee combined damage equal to 463 taijutsu and 310 jujutsu to the selected enemy 6 hits. At level 10, that now goes up to 699 taijutsu and 466 jujutsu, but with the buff, we're now going up to 250 break damage, which is really big, and then the ultimate, the damage of the ultimate got bumped up by like a 0.1%, so not that big. But the break damage is pretty huge, right? Now his own combo, or the combo ultimate that he does, is that he increases his and the allies' damage by 20% with 3 turns, which is very decent, and he does single target melee Jujutsu damage. And now for his auto skills. So Puppet Body. At the start of battle, grants poison and instant kill resistance to self, which is pretty nice, right? And he grants Darkness, Stun, Confusion, and Reverse Kick immunity to self, which is pretty big. Very similar to what Yuji does for himself. Minus a couple things, but it's right. Now his buff, he gets Puppet Body is the same thing, so that's still there. But he gets a new thing with Break Enhancement, so at the start of battle, increases his own break damage by 80%, and increases his own damage dealt by 100%. It's effective when the selected enemy is in break state. So if the selected enemy enters break state after attack, increases his own damage dealt by 150 for 3 turns. So basically his main thing is just breaking the enemy. Once it's broken, he does extra damage, but he's just doing a whole bunch of break damage basically, is his main gimmick. So very decent. His gimmick is basically around breaking, shields and stuff, so not too bad. Yeah, there we go. Also with his buffs, doesn't seem too bad. He definitely has a specific role. So if you ever need to break someone to get the WTO off, hey, there you go. Not too bad. Now looking at Panda here, needs some help, but I think he's like a little bit. The name's a little bit different in the global version, but it's the same Panda, right? So looking at him, he also got buffs as well. He's a red unit, specifically supposed to be a tank, right? So his characteristic: he revives when defeated one time during battle. That's pretty huge, actually. That's pretty huge. Having revivals is pretty good in most games. His buff doesn't give him anything. Okay. So skill 1, Panda Uppercut, level 1, deals 120 melee Jujutsu damage to select the enemy, and increases the selected enemy's damage by 15% for 2 turns. At level 10, that goes up to 180, and he decreases the enemy's damage by 22% now. Now with a buff, he deals a level 1 133 melee Jujutsu damage to the enemy. Depending on how many own cursed energy has when the skill is activated. Additionally, increases Taijutsu damage by up to 65%. Max is 70 cursed energy. Increases the enemy's damage by 15% for 2 turns. Interesting, okay. And then at level 10, that damage goes up to 199. But then if you have more cursed energy, he's going to increase his own damage with Taijutsu by 65% from... actually, it's still the same, but so basically they just kind of alter the way skill 1 works a little bit here, where they kind of change where the decrease the enemy's damage moves to, or I think that's a constant, but it's basically just saying that he's going to be able to do more damage basically if he has more cursed energy with skill 1. So that's not too bad, I guess. Now skill 2, I'll take it at level 1 before the buff, costs 10 cursed energy, increases his own damage received by 10% for 2 turns, attracts the selected enemy's attack to self by 2 turns, like the Teen Gojo, and increases the selected enemy's critical hit resistance by 30% for 2 turns. So he makes it so they can get crit easier. He attracts the enemy, so they attack him, and then he decreases his own damage by 10%. Now at level 10, he decreases his own damage by 15%, and then that's about it. With a buff now, he decreases his own damage at level 1 at 10% for 2 turns, and just like the first skill, he's able to, but this time he goes for damage reduction, which can go up to 40% if he has up to at least 50 cursed energy, and he also still does the attract to self and then the crit hit resistance. Now at level 10, he now decreases his own damage by 15%, but it still is capped out at 40 from like level 1, and then that's about it. So not really much of a buff there for level 10, but at the same time the way the skill got changed is a little bit better. So basically it's kind of going around it's playing around how much cursed energy does Panda have, and then depending on how much cursed energy he has, he's going to deal more damage, and he's also going to be able to reduce his own damage taken. Physically, if you do skill 2, right? Now skill 3, Help His Time, costs 30 cursed energy, at level 1, increases his own Taijutsu damage by 10% for 3 turns, he recovers his own HP by 5%, and the higher own Kalpis count is, the greater the HP recovery, up to 53 HP recovery, and removes all Kalpis counts. Now I don't know how to get this Kalpis count thing, but that does sound pretty good, right? Pretty good. Because he's able to buff himself a little bit for 3 turns, and he's able to heal himself. Now at level 10, that goes up to an increase Toji damage by 15%, and then that's about it. Now with the buff, at level 1, he increases his own Taijutsu by 5% for 3 turns, and then depending on how many Kalpis counts he has when the skill is activated, additionally increases Taijutsu damage by up to 300%, so really massive. And the max increase of a Kalpa count is 3. He's able to recover his own HP, also with a Kalpa. Depending on, so like if you have 1 Kalpa, 21, 2 Kalpas, 32, 3 Kalpas, 43, and then 4, which is the max for this one, 55 HP recovery. So he's going to be able to heal himself by quite a bit, and then once you do any of these skills, right, he removes it specifically for skill 3 is what it looks like. Now level 10, the damage reduction goes to now 50%, which is the same amount, so not too much anything different there. Okay. And then that should basically, yeah, he just gives himself a little bit extra taijutsu damage, so that's okay. Now the ultimate secret of the gorilla, level 1 before the buff, he deals 605 melee taijutsu damage to select the enemy, 10 hits, and it increases damage dealt depending on how many attacks have been received up to 64%. So basically, if he got attacked a bunch of times, he's able to give himself up to a max of 64% pre-buff. Which, mind you guys, the pre-buff stuff is what we're going to be getting now. The buff stuff is going to come later, probably around our half anniversary. And then the second part of his ultimate here deals 150 melee damage to all enemies, so that's nice. And increases damage dealt also by 64% if you take a lot of hits. And recovers his own HP by 50%. So I'm assuming he's able to do both. I'm assuming that's what that's here. And then at level 10 that goes up to 900 melee taijutsu damage to selected enemy, and then 200 to AoE to all enemies. And that's all that changes now with the buff version. At level 1, increases own damage by 10%, so it's already a bit different by one time. Increases damage dealt by up to 80% depending on how many attacks he did receive, so they get a buff, so now it's 80% at level 1. And then his max increases at 7 attacks received. 1 attack received will increase by 10%. And then deals 600 melee taijutsu damage to the enemy by 10 hits, and then he deals 150 melee taijutsu damage to all enemies and recovers his own HP by 50%, and then the count of attacks gets reset. So all you need is to get hit 7 times, and you get that 80% damage buff increase, which is pretty huge. Now level 10, he now deals 902 melee taijutsu damage to select enemies, so almost 1,000, and he deals now 220 melee taijutsu damage to all enemies, which is about the same, or literally the same as the original. So he just does a bit more. No, he does the same amount of damage. However, now he just has that extra damage buff with how many hits he gets, which in this case is 7 hits is what he do. Now his combo effect, he increases his own and the allies taijutsu damage by 12% for one time, so also not that good. But he does deal 120 melee taijutsu damage to all enemies, which is okay, right? Not too big. Now his auto skills here, pre-buff, course switch. At the start of battle, he can revive himself one time, which is pretty huge. It doesn't say if it's full or whatever, how much HP, but I'm assuming it's full HP. And then his second one, Kalpa's count. At the start of each turn, increases his own Kalpa's count by 1 up to 4 times. But then with his buff version, the course switch is the same. Kalpa's count did get changed. So it says the first part of he gets 1 by each turn, and it goes up to 4, but now he's able to recover his own HP by 1.5% if the Kalpa's count is already maxed out at 4. Now the last one, damage received enhancement, he increases his own damage dealt, or his own damage with each attack received, increases damage dealt by up to 80% of how many hits have been received, and then max increase at 7 attacks received no attack received will increase 10%. So basically after he gets hit 7 times, he's going to have this continual 80% damage attack buff for anything he does. Of course, when he does his ultimate, he's going to have a bigger ultimate, but then at the end of it, he's going to throw away all those stacks. Kind of like how with skill 3 here, he gets rid of all his Kalpa's counts, right? So, as you can see, he's kind of like a gimmick, not a gimmick, but it's kind of like a tech tank where you kind of have to play around with the stacks a little bit. If you want more healing, when to use your skill 3, if you need a bigger heal, stuff like that. Overall, not too bad as a tank. Definitely more like decent damage. Has a bit more survivability in here. Plus the taunt. Not too bad. Definitely don't really need to pull for him though, because we don't really need tanks in this game. But he's not a bad option, it's not too bad. If you guys are looking for damage though, I don't think this Panda is really going to provide it, because he's more of a tank. So he'll give you a little bit more survivability, not to mention this, the whole revive feature, right? But also not too bad. He might help out with more like stuff like this. I'd imagine maybe with Imaginary Realm, he can maybe help out with that to keep your team a little popped up a little bit more. But at the same time, these guys usually have some sort of AoE skill, right? So yeah, I think that wraps things up. This video was really long. I swear, I basically just do long ass videos for this game now. Well, that being said, I will see y'all for probably my summon video, my short summon video for the Team Gojo banner. Hopefully we all get lucky, right? Hopefully we all get lucky and get it for free. That'd be cool, right? Other than that, I might make a video also, or include it in that video with the whole event, which I'm assuming we're getting. And other than that, besides that video, I'll probably see you all for Geto when we look at what Geto does. So yeah, with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all later. Have a good one, and good luck with your summons. Peace, and take care, everybody.